Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Local downstream oil investments across Atlantic gold prospects and rail derailments as well as cancellations make headlines. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer tells us more. Hi Martin.
Hi Zandili.
Glencore's local downstream oil investments are expected to be concluded in the near future.
Yes, it's brilliant news for South Africa that a company as big as Glencore is still showing interest in investing in this economy. We know that Glencore understands this market. We know that the leadership of Glencore is South African. So the fact that they are coming into the new political dispensation with a lot of verve, wanting to go downstream in oil, is a big plus point for us, because going downstream in oil means when you pull up in the petrol pump, Glencore owns that pump. So it's not only refining the oil that comes in, but it's actually doing the distribution. And they want to do that not only in South Africa, but also in Botswana. So it's a big deal that they hope to conclude in the third quarter, but they've already concluded similar deals in South America. So you see it happening in Brazil and Mexico. So it's a thought process of Glencore that this is good for our business. We're in oil and gas, and if we go downstream, it actually improves our chances of doing well, and one of the sites is going to be South Africa, which is brilliant.
And Randgold Resources is looking across the Atlantic for gold new prospects.
It just shows you the world, eh? You've got West Africa, you look at the geology there, and it's exactly the same as parts of South America, where Randgold is now looking. So who says the world wasn't all one at some stage, because the geology is the same? And so they are really enthusiastic about also doing well in that geology. They know it. They've experienced in West Africa. They've been in Mali. They've been they're probably going to Senegal. They've got a lot of activity in West Africa, in the Ivory Coast. So they know that particular ore body very well, and they believe that they can do well across the Atlantic in South America in similar terrains. And that's quite fascinating, because we know that Randgold was born here down the road at Selby, 1995. They went on to the London Stock Exchange. They've done brilliantly in Africa, 6 mines. We see them also in the DRC. And they're now wanting to make sure that gold is more relevant. Their complaint is that investing in gold is endangered because the bad management of the other mining companies, they keep displaying how well they're doing. And they're saying that culture now they want to spread, and they will spread it beyond Africa, across the Atlantic, and maybe even up in the Canadian border they're looking. So that'll be an interesting addition to Randgold. We've always known it as Africa focused, now getting more world focused and seeing opportunities. They've always been a discoverer and a developer. They like to discover and develop, but every now and again you see them pick up some very good acquisitions, as we saw in the DRC, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. That particular mine is really pumping very well, and beautifully the wonderful waters of Africa are being used to generate low-cost electricity, which is fantastic. And interestingly, South Africans and Europeans were involved, contractors, in building the first and second hydropower scheme. And then what they regard as very entrepreneurial Congolese people, they're watching this all the time. They came in and they created a company, and they have built the third and final hydropower plant, which is giving low-cost energy into the Democratic Republic gold plant. And guess what? They did it on budget and on time, whereas the other contractors didn't. So you can see that there is an enthusiastic, all Congolese attitude. We can have spin-off from mining. We can do run-of-river power plants. And I think the state there should take note of that. That if you get an enthusiastic gold producer and he brings in the local people to do things, you suddenly transfer his skills. They can do this in many other parts. They're now an enterprise that has got technical savvy, and they know how to do run-of-river development. We know that there's a lot of water there that can be turned into power, and it's much better than buying diesel. It's far better than polluting the air but at the expense is also normally far lower. So it's interesting the way mining can assist in spinning off enterprises.
And Transnet has further derailed its reputation with the derailments and the cancellations on the Sishen-Saldanha line. Tell
Now,
us
I
more.
get upset about this, because I think the state should be a paragon of virtue. We need exportation, and the partner is the state. So you've got private sector mines in the Northern Cape. Kumba is one big one, and there are a lot of other manganese mines there. They're producing top quality product. I mean, you can see that the Chinese are prepared to pay $26 more per ton because this is such high quality. And they want high quality now in this world of climate change because they want efficiency and they want low pollution. So they're prepared to pay more. Now, they pay more. The state, with its rail, doesn't know what it's doing. And 6 derailments. I mean, really. And I'm bringing this to the fore again because I feel not enough was really spoken about this. After the first derailment, they should have said, what is causing this? It mustn't happen again. Because all that wonderful premium price that we have won for the country, and we need a lot of foreign exchange. We need foreign exchange. When you see the rand, how weak it is, the more foreign exchange, the better. Now, we just lose 2 billion because the state derails 6 times, and there have to be cancellations. Now, there is a take and pay. The state insists, you take all your pay. So the guys have to make sure their product is there. But what happens when you pay and they don't take? You've got the state, they're not taking. They should be heavily penalized. I mean, these guys are getting away with nothing. We don't know what's happening in the background. People are all fairly quiet about how this works. And I don't want it to be quiet anymore. That's why I'm raising this. These derailments must end, particularly if we've got this private-public partnership where South Africans are not allowed to have a rail in terms of private sector. It's got to be the state. And then they don't do their work. Not only that, they sabotage the whole business. So I'm hoping that big lights will shine on this, and that's why I keep mentioning it, because I don't think it should just be allowed to get away without headlines, as it did. It only popped up when Kumba released its results. Why aren't these headlines? I mean, they must put the headlines out so that you have 1 and no more. But 6, I mean, that's too many.
Thank you for chatting with us, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Zandili.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the mining industry.